In today's video I'm gonna show you how you can create a cool kinetic text animation in After Effects with a really simple technique. Stay till the end. Okay, so we move to Adobe After Effects and we create a new composition. I already have one and I also have a few text layers. How I create those text layers, it's pretty simple step. You just go to Layer, New, Text, type whatever you want and then you choose your favorite font. You can see that in this case I have Stretch Pro and then you just place it wherever you want. And you can see that for those few layers I also changed the color for few of them. So we've got three white layers with a Gotham black font. Here is impact, here is again Gotham black, here is impact, and those two layers are rotated 19 degrees. So if we have this setup, this is gonna be our final reveal. So let's start with each layer. Okay, I'm gonna start with Kinetic, then I'm gonna move to Text, Animation, After Effects and Tutorial. So this is gonna be the order of the animation. We hide those layers. Before we do this, let's make sure that everything is parented to one null layer. And why? You're gonna see this in a second. So I'm gonna create a layer, New, Null Object. I'm gonna make sure that the anchor point is at the center, and then I'm gonna go to Align tab and just make sure that this null is at the center. And I'm gonna select all of those layers and parent them to this one null object. Let's change the label to keep the timeline clean, and we can start our animation. So I go to Kinetic, and then I go here to Text, and I click here on Animate, and I choose Opacity, and then I go with Opacity to 0. And then I go to Range Selector 1 and we're gonna animate the offset parameter. So I'm gonna press one keyframe here and I'm gonna go to 1 second mark and here we're gonna go with 100. And we should have something like this. Okay, this is cool. And we're gonna go to Range Selector 1 and we're gonna add a property and at the position we're gonna move up this value. So we should have text coming from the bottom. Really nice. Okay, and now let's make sure that this kinetic text is at the center. So I'm gonna create a reference object to make sure where the center is exactly. So I'm just gonna create a simple shape layer and do something like this. So I have this one object at the center and then I go to null object. We can lock this object and change the transparency to maybe 10%. Let's keep it at the top and lock it. And now let's go to null. Let's add a keyframe here, the final keyframe again here, and here let's just make sure that this kinetic is at the center. Okay, so we have something like this, and then we're gonna have this text and we're gonna do the same. So we go to Text, Animate, Opacity, and again we go with 0, and here we animate again offset parameter, so 0, 100, but this time we're gonna go to Advanced tab, we're gonna change the shape from square to ramp up. You can see what we have. We're gonna have this smooth animation. We need to make sure that the offset starts with -100, and right now we have this smooth animation. And I also want to add the position property, and this is too slow, and I'm gonna type 40% for easy low. Okay, so we've got kinetic, then text, and let's copy this keyframe, and here let's go up. So we've got kinetic, then text. Let's also make sure that the movement is linear here. So I'm gonna go with pen tool, and I'm gonna select the convert vertex tool, and I'm just gonna click on those points. And now we have a linear movement. Okay, and here animation. Okay, and now we're gonna rotate everything 90 degrees. Let's turn on our reference layer and make sure that those two layers are at the center. And let's also play with a scale. Okay, something like this. And I'm gonna duplicate those keyframes to keep those layers for a moment here. Okay, and we're gonna use the same technique as before. So opacity to 0% and then range selector, and we're gonna play with offset. Okay, 100, and the same for this one. here I'm gonna also go with ramp up shape. Easy low 40%, offset -100, and then 100. And also property position. And here we move back to original position, so 0, 100% scale. And as we animate this, we're gonna introduce the last text layer. And now let's easily use those keyframes and make this animation a bit more enjoyable. I'm gonna also turn on the motion blur and reduce the resolution to 1/4. Okay, here I'm gonna faster those keyframes. Okay. And we should go from here instantly. I'm gonna add a simple scale at the end. To add a bit more movement, we can change this rotation from 0 to 1, and we've got a full 360 rotation. It adds a bit of impact to the end of the animation. Okay, and let's render this and let's see the final result. And that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, I hope you learned something from it. If you enjoyed this content, please give a like, comment and subscribe. And what can I say more? Have a great day and to the next time. Bye.